Hi. Welcome back to the internet's most highly anticipated pre-recorded radio podcast thingy on the internet of 2023.
This is Movers 1.
That's right. We are LDS.
And so we're the idea behind it is, it was an idea that we had from the dance floor and the DJ booth of, everyone moving as one to the rhythm of the same beat, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. The unity of being on a dance floor and moving as one. We've decided to come up with some acronyms for LDS. We talked about this in last month's episode. One of them was Let's Dance Simultaneously, which is similar to Move as One.
Yeah.
Another one, I asked my sister if she's got any good ones. My sister is called Dawn, and she said, "Lovely sister Dawn." That's lovely Dawn sister. That's the. Another one she said was Lamb Donna Shish.
If you've got any other acronyms for LDS, then let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to do a little bit of a sort of an exploration of some of the ones that we've come up with, and we'll be presenting them some way, some form.
You'll see them. But yeah, let's get into the show.
So have you got something lined up for us?
I have a record right here on a turntable ready to go. It's called Shake Your Body by... Oh wait, let me just check. Yeah, I had to get that right. It's called Shake Your Body by Made in USA. I was reading on YouTube earlier that some of the band from Made in USA are the same members as Crown Heights Affair. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but bit of YouTube fact. But no, the reason I'm playing this, it's a lovely sort of down-tempo disco tune. It's got a real smooth vibe to it, but what really made me connect with it is I play quite often at Flipper's Roller Boogie Palace in West London. It's a roller disco. Rory, you've played there with me before, haven't you?
Yeah, we did. That was good fun.
We played with Colleen Cosmo Murphy there, actually. That was a great night. But yeah, since then I've been playing there quite regularly by myself as well because I skate a lot. And I played this tune. I didn't know it too well. I just thought, I'd put it on a playlist of things that sounded good, and I played it. So I played a digital copy of it there because they don't have turntables. And it went down really well with the skaters. They loved it, and it's quite an odd one because the skaters there, they're generally quite a young demographic, and I don't think they're too into their disco. So it can be quite hard to like sneak a disco tune in here and there. And this one went down really well. They loved it, and they came over to the booth like going, yes, yes. So like I enjoyed that they connected with it like that, and I was happy. So let's have a listen to it.
Move your body next to me and let me feel
That was Shake Your Body by Made in USA. That came out in 1977, which I personally think is a great year for disco. I think it's a bit before it got super commercial. And yeah, I like the slow vibe, the slow, sexy vibe
nice
to it.
I can see how it would work in the roller skating rink. I've been down there a few times, and even when I've not been playing, when you've been playing, it's kind of interesting arena to sort of watch. People just do their thing anyway, but like for me, as someone that works in music, that plays a lot of music, to kind of, I don't know, anytime I watch people dancing, I sort of have this analytical mind of seeing, that's just what we do as DJs. We're kind of looking to see what works. And I think in that space, it's quite interesting to see the tracks that do work. And it's like, it's odd sometimes. Like the selection that go, I'm like, hang on, like it really affects the motion of the way people move and what they're doing. And I think it was something quite new for me being in that space. And it's interesting to pay attention to these kind of things.
100%. It's a totally different ball game DJing to roller skaters, and I think it was actually one of the nights when you came down, but it was just me playing that I played that, and I don't know if you remember, there was like a big sort of dance-off battle circle at the end of the rink, and that was a tune that started it, and they were just like loving it. And, And it's got a lovely groove to it. But yeah, in the whole thing of like Move as One, exactly the concept of Move as One, we're talking about like the unity of dancing to a beat in a club, but it's very similar in a roller rink. People that are like hardcore skating, they're very conscious of what's going on around them and sort of keeping it moving fluidly. So it's a very unifying feeling when you're skating with loads of people.
Yeah, and I would say like it extends beyond the dance floor too, because have you ever been I don't know if you've ever been to somewhere where there's crazy traffic, like in India or these Asian cities where people are like they're not looking at mirrors or anything like that, but they're like fish, a school of fish, just kind of like weaving and in some kind of harmony, and people getting to work on the tube, wherever it is, there's this sort of synergy between the way we kind of move. Yeah,
moving as one big sort of objective stuff. Exactly. No, it's like, I know exactly what you mean. It's like like work at ants.
Might be a bit far, it might be a bit far out, but like that is.
No, I'm down with that completely. I'm down with that completely. That's what Move as One is about. It's about recognizing that although we're all individuals, we all are also connected in this world, and music is one way to bring us all together.
Yeah.
So
talking of that, I've got a track here which I picked up the other day at a fantastic new record shop. I really highly recommend going to check this out. It's a small independent place, but it was also a tune that I think I was thinking back to it the other day. Do you remember the Fabric Live CDs?
Yes.
Yeah, and I totally forgot about them for a long time.
They were great.
Yeah, and I think I discovered this tune on a Fabric Live CD, which was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the Felix the House Cat Fabric Live CD, and I was just...
I think I remember that one. It was a good one.
It was, and well, all of them, they were just amazing, and I actually had a little YouTube sort of binge the other night and just went through some of my favourite ones that I could remember. But this tune really affected me and sort of stayed with me. And anyway, so cut a long story short, I saw that this record shop, WSA in Haringey, right next to Haringey Station, amazing place. It's got retro arcade games, a small but really solid selection of music, which I think is important. It's not overwhelming. There's not so much there, but everything is really good.
I'm gonna have to check it out because that's very local to where we are.
Yeah, and I left some stuff behind that I'm hoping is still gonna be there, and hopefully you don't pinch it.
I did that to you the other day at Flashback Records. You told me that you'd seen a load of good stuff at Flashback in Crouch End, and I went down there like a day or two after and just bought loads of stuff. I was like, this is all great. And I was like, I'm sure Rory saw this and wanted it.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to keep these little secrets to myself from now on and stop putting them on the internet or telling you.
I mean, if someone books us, they get to hear the tunes regardless, because we are one.
Yeah. So without further ado, I'll introduce this tune. It's a track by Metro Area, who are a Brooklyn-based duo. Morgan Geist and Darshwan Jeshrani, I think is how you say his name. And they've been solid with their output. This track is called Caught Up, and I think it was around 2002 it came out. But I mean, their output has just been amazing for this style of what they do. But it's just a beautiful track, percussion, bass, everything's lovely. But anyway,
nice. Let's have a listen.
Yep.
that was lovely. I really enjoyed that. What was it called again?
It's called Caught Up by Metro Area. Yeah, and as I was just saying to you when it was playing, it's just a tune that just like has had an imprint on me for a while. It just makes me feel really happy. It's like the bass line and the just everything about it. It's got good vibes.
There's a lot of disco lasers in it, which are like a staple sound of
disco toms.
Yeah, that's it. The sort of like synthesized tom sound, or is it like a tom with an effect on it or something? I don't know what it is, but it's how do you make a disco laser? Someone tell us. But yeah, they sound great. I love them. It reminded me. I mentioned it reminded me of there's a tune I've got called "Got Percussion" by Jean-Claude Gavry, and it sort of takes the disco laser percussion thing to an extreme. But I love a tune like that. I love a tune with no lyrics where you can just get into the beat.
Yeah.
And it's you were saying also the shop where you got it has got like a sort of space theme to it.
Yeah,
right?
so as I said before, it's called WSA, but actually that's a acronym. It's called When Spaceships Appear, and Matt, the guy in there, nice guy, he's got a bit of a space fetish, so you'll see a lot of different things from the retro arcade games to the posters to all the records that he's got. He's actually got a whole section of cosmic spacey stuff, and it's anything from recordings of the moon landing to just really far out kind of 70s sort of like synthesizer just journeys.
Yeah, and like that's like right up our street as well, because we've like always, as LDS, playing predominantly disco music, we've ended up exploring the sort of weirder side of disco a lot, because there's only so far you can go with like the well-known stuff, so you start digging deeper and deeper, and after 12 years you're into the really weird stuff.
Yeah, and there's plenty of it in there.
Yeah.
And some spacey jazz funk stuff. Just some incredible artwork too.
Well, this has happened completely by coincidence, because we didn't really plan this, but the tune I've got is The Voice of Q by Q, which is a spacey tune. I'll play it and then we can talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very spacey tune. Wait, let me check quickly. You keep talking, let me check the...
Yeah, so actually, Voice of Q. So I haven't heard this for a very long time, but yeah, I think it's probably a staple favourite of both of ours, actually. And yeah, it is a very spacey tune. Hopefully he's got it on the right speed.
Yes.
I know I made a mistake on the last episode of not checking the speed, so...
Yeah,
we are professionals over here.
We're becoming professionals. It's only taken 12 years. But yes, the record is ready to play. So I'll play it. The Voice of Q by Q. I love that weird little creepy outro on that.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful song. I think just everything about it. The little vocoder man. Let's communicate. It's a great lyric.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Let's communicate is resonates with the Movers One feeling as well. It's like let's communicate and get stuff done together. I like that a lot. The reason I picked that tune, I love it. The vocal is very smooth. First time I ever heard it was at the Horse and Groom in Shoreditch, which is where LDS began in 2011. So it's sort of stuck with me because of that.
There was actually a version of it like back a while ago that we used. Like there was a sort of new disco dude who made a version of that called Dr. Drew.
Oh, okay. Him? Yeah, I remember Dr. Drew. Yeah,
it was a bit more of a beefed up version.
Right.
He didn't really change that much, to be honest. Like a lot of those sort of new disco.
I heard I was working at like a tech house event that was just like, you know, like a lot of the modern sort of tech house is just like a tech house beat with a sample.
Yeah.
And there was actually quite a mad sort of tech house version of that, which I thought was impressive sampling for the sort of tech house scene. Like a lot of the other stuff was quite obvious, and then that just was like, oh, that was pretty cool. But
they're getting to the far reaches of things these days.
No, that's it. It's one of those ones, you know, like there's good in every genre, and even like stuff that is generally a bit generic, and that sometimes someone will make something great. And I actually really enjoyed that one when I heard it, probably just because of the reference of this Voice of Q tune. But another thing about the Voice of Q, during lockdown when I was doing live streams from this very space, I did one where I dressed up as an alien and got really silly. The streams were called Hot and Streamy, so it was kind of like a silly thing. It was intended to be silly. It wasn't to be taken seriously. And that was the first tune I played on that, and it was kind of like a hint of what was going to go on later in the stream, where I pretended that the stream was like taken over by aliens, and I was just like beaming into the studio. But yeah, that was fun. So what have you got anyway?
So the next one is they're a new outfit, or well, no, new old, I guess. They go under a different name. It's Jerobaom, who are a band who I actually saw recently, very recently at the Jazz Cafe live.
Nice.
And for Space Grapes, which is Danilo Plezhno, who you may know as Motor City Drum Ensemble. It's his new label. It's kind of centered around sort of funk, soul, jazz, disco, and they did a showcase at Jazz Cafe with two incredible, promising live acts. This was one of them, called Jerobaom, and the other one was Another Taste. But both the bands that played go under two aliases, so it's quite confusing. But anyway, this band, Jerobaom,
a little bit like us, a bit confusing.
Yeah, yeah, a bit like life actually. So they are from Paris. They are called Jerobaom, otherwise known as Echoes of, and they've sort of toured and supported many legendary funk and soul acts as like the session musicians. So, but honestly, it was one of the most tight together performances that I've seen in a very long time. And this track that I'm going to play you one part of it because it's quite long. It's in two parts. It's called Mystic Beauty by Jerobaom.
Nice. Let's have a listen. Am I right that was called Mystic Beauty?
Yes, you are indeed. It was part 1. There is a second part which was just about to come in, but it goes on, and it is very mystical and very beautiful.
You have to look that one up if you want to hear the second part.
But yeah, so yeah, the sound of Jerobaom, Parisian band, also known as Echoes of, that have done, I think as I've mentioned before, they were the backing band for Howard Johnson, Kyoto Jazz Massive, and some other people. But don't be fooled by how mellow that was. It went off.
Yeah.
Like the other stuff that they do, it was an insane energy in the room.
I love that when you see a band where like their music seems quite mellow, but when you see them live, it's a really hype gig, and it just like, it's the energy of everyone being together. So the tunes are the same, but like it just goes wild.
Yeah, and I honestly I can't even remember how many people are in that band, but there's a lot of them. Like there's It was just it was incredible sort of spectacle to watch. Everyone just sort of at the top of their game. To see a band like that are all playing, and in such sort of rhythm together and so tight. Yeah, it was fantastic. Go check them out. And also, actually, funny enough, I realised that when we were listening to that we sort of kept on the space theme slightly, because the label is called Space Grapes. Danilo's label is called Space Grapes.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Which is a name that I really like, because it's kind of silly.
We like a bit of silly.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that. It gave me sort of like D'Angelo vibes, but way cooler. And I really like that.
D'Angelo's pretty cool.
He is pretty cool, yeah. No, definitely. Like D'Angelo is up there with coolness, but I just like the more sort of spacey vibe of that,
Yeah.
I'd say that's what I'm meaning to say is spacier rather than cooler.
Okay.
But yeah, that was beautiful. I really liked it.
What have you got for us?
So I've got this little 7-inch, which I really like. I like the artwork on it. It's just colourful. But it's by Jimi Tenor, and it's called Vocalize My Love, and it's the electric remix. It's a 7-inch, of course. 7 inches are really fun, but they're even more fun when the actual tune is brilliant. I played the B-side of this by accident once when we were just chilling. I meant to put that on. I put the B-side on. The B-side's not very nice. It's not that it's not very nice, but neither of us enjoyed it. We both looked at each other like, what is this? But the A-side is fantastic. I'm just going to make sure I get this bit of fluff off of it. But yeah, what I really like about it is actually the vocal. It's called Vocalize My Love, so it's got a vocal. It's some singers from Ghana. I'm not sure their names because it doesn't say on the record. But they're sort of, the lyrics are very like repetitive, sort of a chant about vocalizing love. And being as it's February and it's Valentine's Day in February, I thought it would be a good one to. Yeah,
it's tomorrow.
Now they know when we recorded this. But yeah, no, exactly. No, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. So I thought a tune about vocalizing love would be great. Also, there's another thing about this tune that really resonates with me though. There's a tune by MFSB called Plenty Good Loving, which I absolutely love. MFSB are obviously the band that did Love Is the Message, which is like a staple of disco. It's like, one of the key disco tunes. And that Plenty Good Loving tune that they've got, we've got an edit of it by South Beach Recordings. Is that his name? South Beach Recordings?
South Beach Recycling.
That's it. Sorry, got it right. South Beach Recycling, which is like a fantastic edit that he's done. And I've played that a lot over the years, and the beat has just got this like syncopated beat, and it's a sort of chanted vocal about love, and so it really reminds me of that because it's a very similar sort of drum pattern, very similar style of vocal, but with a completely different flip on it. And it's also very fast, which I like because we like our tunes that are.
Okay, so we're going opposite end of the spectrum. We've had a little lie down, have a little relaxed mode. Now
yeah, I think it's about 135 BPM.
Okay, yeah, we do like that.
Another little interesting fact about it before I put it on. The drummer apparently was hooked up to like some sort of trigger so the drums trigger a synthesizer somehow. So that's quite interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's some guy, I can't remember his name. I'll have a think whilst we're listening to it that I've seen. I met him once, but I've seen that he started to do. He's a drummer. He's a solo drummer.
Right. Yeah.
And he started to mess around with triggering the drums with synths and stuff. But I'll have a little think.
Yeah.
Whilst
Sure.
we're getting into this one.
Could you take the backing beat down for me?
Wow, energy on that one. I do remember that one now. Yeah, it's hard to kind of depict what era that's from. Actually, it sounds kind of modern, but also it's not like.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about it. I think it is kind of modern, made fairly recently, but like the vibe that Jimi Tenor, the producer, has gone for is lovely. And I think he's from Finland. He's like mad into his synthesizers. I don't know too much about him, but that's why he sort of hooked up this thing so the drummer would trigger the synths. But also, yeah, the vocalize your love, repetitive. Like I think we spoke a bit about like repetitive chanted lyrics
in the last episode. Go check that out. It'll be somewhere around here.
Yeah, it doesn't look as nice as this one.
Don't worry about that.
But yeah, like we spoke about the chanting thing in music, and sort of it's something I really noticed with chanting is at WOMAD Festival. I went to WOMAD in 2022 for the first time since 17 years before that. So that, it's been a long time, and I didn't appreciate it as a kid or a teenager when I went. But yeah, when I went in 2022, there were a lot of the live bands that we saw that would do some like serious audience participation, and they'd get everyone sort of like chanting a lyric along, and the energy just felt incredible of everyone doing something together. It's like the move is one thing, the chanting. So I really like a vocal where there's the chanting going on, because you can work out the lyrics pretty quickly and just start singing along to it in the crowd.
So yeah, I just remembered actually whilst we were listening to that who the drummer is that triggers all of these different instruments. His name's Chiminyo, and I met him at Gearbox Records. Big up Casper if you're listening. Nice guy, but like since I met him, I've seen on his Instagram he started to do all this crazy stuff, and yeah, it's basically him on a drum kit, but it's like he's playing synthesizers, bass, all this kind of stuff. I don't really know how it works.
Incredible talent, way beyond DJing.
Yeah, but yeah, go check that out, Chiminyo, if you like the sound of that kind of technology. Yeah,
and also the little Easter egg there. Check out MFSB, Plenty Good Loving, and the South Beach Recycling edit of that, because that's also a great tune.
Yeah.
So what have you got?
I have got a tune. I think it's early 2000s, out on Junior Boy's Own. It's a tune by Black Science Orchestra, otherwise known as Ashley Beadle, and some other people were involved in that project, I believe. I mean, on the label here, it does say Beadle. Oh no, not on this side. Yeah, I think this one's just Ashley Beadle. Oh no, Beadle, Klassen, and Wolford. So I'm wondering if that's Paul Wolford.
Yeah, it might be.
Sounds
May
like
well
it,
be,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this tune is called New Jersey Deep. It's a pretty classic tune. I mean, you've probably heard it. Last time I heard it actually was Maurice Fortin was playing in We Out Here Festival, and it reminded me about this tune because I completely forgot about it. But it's got a classic sort of broken beat sort of vibe with a sort of funk sample with just this synth that just sort of drives it all the way through. Yeah, it's really nice.
Nice. Let's have a listen to it then.
Let's get onto it, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, kind of quite a driving number. Like,
I loved it. That was brilliant.
We were just talking actually about the sample, weren't we?
Yeah. So that's Brass, Wind and Steel, Funkanova.
Funkanova's the tune, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually I got it wrong. Well, I mean the synth stabs in there are really nice, but in my head before I put it on, I thought the guitar was a synth lead, but actually that kind of like repetitive guitar loop that goes on and on and on. It's really kind of quite catchy.
Yeah, it sends you into a bit of a trance. So like I've played the original quite a lot, and I'm not familiar with that, but I love it. The drums on that are just like really crisp. I was saying on the original, the drums are like they're lovely, but I think like the mastering, they feel a
bit crunchy.
Yeah, a bit crunchy, or maybe just like a bit weak. And the drums on there are just hard. It's got
super
like a sort
punchy kind of
yeah
dance floor ready basically.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I might have to get a copy of that to play at Flippers, because I reckon that will go down well with skaters. But yeah, I really loved that. So thank you very much. So my last tune from me, and then we'll do a last tune from you. My last tune, I told you I had a curveball when we were talking about it. I was going to play a jungle tune from like 94, like really early jungle, but I couldn't find the one I wanted to play, because basically what I've done with all my tunes, they've progressively got faster. So I was going to play a jungle tune, but I couldn't find the one I wanted. So I'm going to play something completely different. It's a Lovers Rock tune by Janet Kay called You Bring the Sun Out, which is it's a cover. Most Lovers Rock, a lot of Lovers Rock tunes were covers. Lovers Rock being like a subgenre of reggae that was very popular in the sort of late 70s, early 80s.
I'm an absolute sucker for Lovers Rock, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, actually, funny enough, I did a mix for... Well, it kind of wasn't actually for Valentine's Day. I did a mix and then I released it on my SoundCloud around Valentine's Day because I thought it was appropriate. But yeah, no, Lovers Rock is a sort of, I wouldn't even say a guilty pleasure, but it's like a secret love of mine.
Yeah, do you know what? Lovers Rock, like, it's kind of like, as reggae goes, it's like, it can be a bit sickly sweet, but it's great. It's lovely.
I think everyone can relate to it, even if it is a bit sickly. Some of it, I think everyone can relate to some of the sort of the the soppiness that they're talking about, and I like that. It
played a big part in the UK sort of music scene as well back then, when there was sort of we didn't have all this modern dance music, and it was like the club music of the day, and it played a big role in sort of popularising reggae around the UK. From there was a reggae scene in the UK, but it made it sort of commercial and drew everyone into it rather than just the reggae heads. And Janet Kay was one of the pioneers of that. And she was actually discovered by Alton Ellis, who's an old reggae singer. And I played a dub tune last month in the Movers One radio. And that dub tune I bought from a record shop called Lion Vibes in Brixton, who Alton Ellis was responsible for starting back in the day. So that's a weird little connection.
Oh, wow. But yeah, Janet Kay, what a voice.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the really Silly Games? Is that the popular one?
That's the one. Yeah,
the really popular tune, Silly Games. Amazing vocal on that. I love it.
Yeah. No, she's brilliant. So I will get it playing.
Bring the stars out to light the night up.
Yeah, that was Janet Kay, You Bring the Sun Out.
That was absolutely beautiful. Sort of sent me off into a little bit of a floaty space. I was off somewhere over there. That synth line really reminds me of something. I can't think of what it is, but it's such a lovely sound.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love that one a lot. I haven't actually listened to it myself in quite a while, so it was nice to listen through that, and just hear the lovers rock vibes.
Yeah.
I had something to say about it and I've completely forgotten. Oh yeah, that was it. So the first time, that's a cover of Randy Crawford, You Bring the Sun Out, and the tune's been covered loads of times, but the first time I really connected with that sample, or the I don't know what you'd call it. Basically, I heard it as a sample in a hip hop tune, and the hip hop tune is by a hip hop group called Sabotage Party.
That's where I know it from.
There you go.
I literally thought of, when I was listening to it, I was like, that sounds like something that Rafi's produced. So I wasn't going nuts. Like, that's so crazy that you didn't even say that to me, but that's what I was thinking.
there we go. So yeah, Sabotage Party were a rap group,
wow,
UK rap group, consisting of Raf Riley and Reuben Dangoor, who are both now doing great stuff in both their fields. But they went to the same school as us. And yeah, they had a tune on their album which used the sample of, I think it was a Randy Crawford sample, or maybe one of the other covers. It wasn't the Janet Kay version, but I'd heard it before. It was familiar when I heard it, but that's what really made me connect with it. And then when I found the Janet Kay version, I was like, yeah, gotta get this.
That's so mad, because I don't even think I've got those files anymore. But when I was listening to that, I was like, I'm gonna have to message Rafi, because this is bringing back some sort of mad nostalgic thing. Maybe I've got it completely wrong or whatever. But yeah, Sabotage Party is a throwback.
They were great.
They were really great. And actually, do you know the weirdest thing is, I've started to listen to the radio when I make dinner sometimes, just to sort of keep current, see what's going on out there. I listen to a lot of old music, and sometimes I flick between Radio 1 Extra, just to see what's coming out and what the kids are listening to these days. And Raf Riley was actually on 1 Extra the other night.
Yeah, I saw actually. I haven't heard it, but I saw him posting about it. What?
I didn't even know. I just by chance turned the radio on, and I was like, that sounds like Rafi. And then it was like, oh, it is him. So yeah, he'd been on there guest hosting. I can't remember whose show it was, but he had a couple of tunes on there with a vocalist. Very talented producer, so go check him out. Raf Riley.
He's been producing some great stuff.
Quite varied stuff, back in the day he used to do some rap stuff, and now he's doing a few different bits and pieces, but yeah. Yeah,
and Reuben Dangoor as well is an artist that lots of people will know as in his sort of like drawn illustrations. They'll know him for all of those. He's done some great stuff.
Yeah, so wow, I'm gonna have to dig up that tune and listen to it again. But yeah, thanks for that.
That's all right. Yeah. So what have you got anyway? What are you gonna send us out on?
So it was I couldn't really figure out which to play last, because I've got one that was like a little bit more high energy, but after that, setting me in that sort of lovely mood, and it also being the Lovers Month of February, Saint Valentine coming out to play. I thought we might as well have another one that's a bit more love based.
Nice. I like it. I'm here for it.
So yeah, this is from 1980. It's Sound of Dynasty on Solar Recordings, Sound of Los Angeles Records. The track is one I've actually only recently discovered, maybe this year. I fell in love with it, but also Dynasty as well. I didn't realise how much sort of stuff that they worked on as a production outfit as well. You know, they produced stuff for the Whispers and some other people.
Yeah, they're
and they
big.
kind of got a really just signature sound, and I think most of the stuff, you know, there's a lot of bands that produce a large body of work, and then, you know, probably 10% of it's actually good.
Right. Yeah.
I think Dynasty, in my personal opinion, quite a lot of it is pretty good. A high percentage.
A lot of solid tunes.
It's solid tunes, solid production. And yeah, so this one is called "I've Just Begun to Love You."
All right, and before we put that on, we might as well say our goodbyes, and we'll let this one play us out.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been lovely. Hope you join us again in March.
Yep, and let us know in the comments if there's anything you've liked particularly down below. Or anything that you'd like to see featured in the next month's edition.
Yes, and also let us know if you can think of any good acronyms of LDS. Don't forget to tell everyone you know about the most incredible show you've seen on the internet this month, this year. We're going to keep going, as we said at the start, 1 episode a month, so stay locked. We're having fun, and we are hoping you are having fun as well.
Yes, and yeah, you can find us, where can you find us?
YouTube is the where we're putting a video, and the sound is going on our SoundCloud, the London Disco Society SoundCloud, and also on Apple Podcasts. So if you use any app that connects to the Apple Podcasts, you can get hold of it. You can't get hold of us on a Spotify podcast because they don't like us
At the moment.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be back.
Maybe we'll sort
be
that
off
out.
the naughty list.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything wrong, by the way. I think we've just been spamming them with our mixes, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, I'm going to get into this one, but yeah, thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. See you there.
Peace. Been